Involves the anti-death penalty protesters. They're making their voices heard today, and that's where we go now live to News 10's Dominic Miranda, who explains how things went down.
Susie, I'm here at the intersection of US 41 and Spring Hill Road on the south side of Terre Haute. That's where protesters opposing the death penalty gathered since 2:45 this afternoon. Now, I want to make this point, a very interesting point. Dustin Lee Honkin's daughter actually made it a point to visit the site of the protesters and express her gratitude and appreciation for the message they were spreading and just them being there. She said it was very nice gesture and she really appreciated what they were trying to do. Now, I'm actually, a lot of the protesters were from Terre Haute and across the United States. And speaking of that, I'm actually here joined now by Ashley Kincaid-Eve. She's a lawyer and activist opposing the death penalty who came from Indianapolis. Ashley, why was it so important for you to come all the way from Indianapolis all 3 days this week?
Well, I'm a resident of Indiana, and this year, actually this week, Terre Haute in my state has been reestablished as the place where the most powerful country in the world puts to death its citizens. And I wanted to be here to make absolutely clear that this is not being done in my name. And I plan to devote myself to fighting the abolition of the death penalty, and I felt compelled to be here with such a brutal killings being carried out in my name.
Right, and now it's confirmed that Dustin Lee Honkin was federally executed just a few moments ago. Talk to me about the meaning of ringing the bell and your reaction to the third execution this week.
So the bell, I think it starts out with religious beliefs that a tolling of a bell has to do with angels. But for us, I think it's symbolically, it's about bringing us present to be solemn in the moment together. And I know once that bell started ringing, the energy shifted, and even though it's very, very hot out and we're sweating, I got chills in that moment and had silent tears streaming down my cheeks. So it's just to bring us present to what's happening right now. As far as my reaction to the third execution, what I noticed most this week is the ritual aspects of it, the mythology of having all of the journalists ready to come in at the exact moment of death. If anybody around local town knows, the prison has been blocked off a mile in all directions, as if they think our group is sophisticated enough to storm the death chamber. And I think that it just shows that it's unnecessary. There's no reason to do that, but it's another unnecessary aspect of the unnecessary ritual of killing people. I think President Trump won the battle this week for the death penalty, but he's waging the war on my home turf, and he's fueled a movement, and we are just getting started, and we won't stop fighting until we abolish the death penalty.
Okay, well, thank you, Ashley, for joining me. I appreciate that. That was Ashley Kincaid-Eve, Indianapolis resident, lawyer, and activist opposing the death penalty, and that really sums up the reaction of the protesters here today. Again, the third and final execution of this week was carried out just a few moments ago of Dustin Lee Honkin. And that's really the update from here. As you can see, protesters are starting to wrap up and go home, and that's about it. So, Susie, this is Dominic Miranda in Terre Haute. Back to you.